Shocking. Positively shocking. Welcome in to the Bro 4 Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. I'm your host, the Mayor, Jeff Hornacek, and this is episode 260 of our movie discussion podcast. We thank you so much for joining us for this very special episode. Before we get into it, let's go around and meet my fellow bro. It is our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli. Ronnie, I know that this is technically an HR question, but because it could become legal as well, I think it'd be good for you to weigh in on. If James Bond were to hook up with M, would that be against any specifically written rules, or is it more just like frowned upon?
Okay, first of all, I want you to know that there is no bigger rivalry in this world than HR versus legal.
Wow.
So like to even bring that comparison in here just really makes me pissed off. So good job. You got me riled up. It's going to be a great episode now because I am feeling it. You know what? From the legal perspective, hey, if they're both consenting adults, let's fucking go. M is busy, and whether, M has a lot of things to do, and James Bond wants to serve his country. So
Yeah,
as is some James Bond movies, he literally says after he does the deed, he will say, I did that for the country. So, I'm just going to sit here and say that HR will differ with you, and that's why we don't like each other.
All right, that's fair. I did not know that about HR and legal, like sharks and jets, Shiites and
It's
Sunnis.
like Michigan, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Texas.
Wow.
Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona. No, it's like, no. HR versus legal is real.
It's awesome. So that like company softball game, did you guys have separate teams?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we sued them every time they did anything.
Fucking pussies. All right, well, here on the Bro 4 Squad podcast, we start every podcast off with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chess day. And folks, it is March, meaning March Madness. That's right, brackets galore. And if the NCAA men's basketball tournament wasn't good enough for you, good, because we got something much better. Our annual movie Madness tournament. Search our YouTube channel for all the ones we've done in the past. In the very first year of our podcast, and afterwards we swore never again, even though it was fun, it was just too much. We did 64 comic book movies in a...
Mistakes were made.
The mistakes were made. We were so young and skinny back then. Recently, though, we've toned down the entries into the tournament, unlike the NCAA tournament, which keeps expanding. This year, though, we're actually going to do this in two parts. We're going to do half of this tournament now in March, and then the other half probably in June or July around the time. When does the FIFA World Cup actually end? Do you know when the final is?
I believe it's from like June 12th to like July 16th or something of that nature.
Okay, perfect. So maybe we
not exact, but around that time frame.
Another good time to do another bracket, since that's essentially what the World Cup is. So this year's movie madness is James Bond movie madness. And this was inspired because Netflix acquired the rights recently to all the James Bond movies, and they've had them up, and we've kind of been going through these for a while. And Cycli, you, I know especially your dad, are huge Bond heads. So what are your thoughts on the tournament this year? We're going to do the first 13 movies today, Selection Sunday, even though it's not Sunday, selecting our bracket, and the other 13 later on in the summer. But what are your thoughts on just this tournament in general?
Yeah, I think it's one, whether you're not, you're a James Bond fan, it's just such part of the like zeitgeist of film, right? Like you don't have to be appreciative of like but you have to accept like the impact it's had on film and action films, spy films, everything. Like we all appreciate Mission Impossible, things like that. It's like everything. Austin Powers on the comedic side of it. It's like everything is because of because of James Bond. So, like you said, my dad is maybe one of the biggest James Bond fans of all time. I grew up watching these movies because of him. Definitely do not have the same appreciation he did. My parents' first date was a James Bond movie.
Wow. Do you remember which one?
Off the top of my head, no. I know the second, like I actually look at the list, I will know. But it was just like such a part of my upbringing that, and then not only did Netflix just acquire all the rights, like you said, but Amazon now is acquiring all future rights. And so I believe this could be changed, but I believe we're going to get a James Bond show coming up next.
Okay.
instead of movies. So that will be really interesting. That might, again, I don't know if anything's official yet, but there's a lot happening with James Bond right now. There's a lot of rumors that they're going to go back to the 60s era where it's going to be a timepiece, which I
Love
kind
it.
of think would be great because sometimes some of the James Bond films are too inundated with modern technology and they kind of like lose the plot. So it's kind of fun. Like it's fun because they're taking a new step the way the last James Bond ended. This is kind of like in that, like you said, Netflix getting it. It's just it's a fun movie to compare to each other. So many different actors taking the role, so many different plots and genres. It's going to be interesting how this plays out.
Yeah, rewatching the old ones, I'd only seen probably like half of them, and every single one of them has something in it that you're like, that's in hindsight, or like it's aged kind of ridiculously, but it's just so fun, just like this world that they've created. And I read the only book I've read is Casino Royale by Ian Fleming, and I actually don't like the way he writes. So this is one of the rare cases too where I think, at least for me, not even close, the movies are better than the book. I've only read the first one, like I said, but I could tell I was not going to like many of the novels, so I've just stuck to the movies. Which for me, that makes me a purist. I don't care what you say about the books.
I think it's fair because it's really funny. I've never read any of the books, and most people will always tell you whether it's any movie that's based on a book. We can go Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, whatever. People always say books are better than movies, and I inherently agree 90% of the time. I don't know that James Bond is one of those. Like, even though I know I haven't read it, it's
Yeah.
just not it's not part of that culture where people like, oh, the books were so much better. Again, maybe I'm completely wrong.
It's
but
written with a lot of like inner monologue, and so there'll be times in the story where it's just like him at a card table thinking to himself for like 17 pages, and you're like, Jesus Christ,
yeah,
stop. It's very kind of like pretentious. So, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I've put the first 13 James Bond movies, starting with Dr. No and ending with Octopussy. So we have all the Connery, Lazenby, and Roger Moore, and then back to Connery Bonds. Actually, what is Never Say Never? I don't think that's in the first 13, is it? Let me see.
So
That's
this is an interesting. I don't know if we want to have this part of the conversation, but there is an interesting like breakdown of James Bond movies where they had the Eon films and non-Eon films, and that like there was two of them that happened. One which was a satirical Casino Royale in 1967, which predates
which is not in the
Doctor No.
timeline. Yeah.
No, it shouldn't be. But also Never Say Never Again, which is when Sean Connery came back, and it was technically kind of a remake of Thunderball, is not in the same universe. And it was the only way that Never Say Never Again was actually inspired by Sean Connery's wife when he said he's never going to play the character again. And then he came back. And so that's why that's titled Never Say Never Again. So yeah, it's a very interesting how we want to look at James Bond films, but typically they're Eon films. And I don't know how far we get. And you say 13 get us through all Roger Moore?
Yeah, so this will cover Dr. No in 1962 all the way through Octopussy in 1983, although it looks like Roger Moore comes back for A View to a Kill.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So this will be missing Connery's last film, Never Say Never Again, and then Roger Moore's last film. That will be in the next bracket.
Perfect.
So, all right. There will be one play-in game, which we will draw now, meaning these two movies technically have to fight each other to get into the tournament. And I'm sorry, it's just the way that the cookie crumbles. And we have the one that I most recently watched, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, getting drawn, which is, of course, the Lazenby's only outing as Bond. And it will be going up against... I barely folded these to alleviate time here. You Only Live Twice.
That could be spicy because I think a lot of true Bond heads, and I really appreciate that you said this, don't have a hate for Lazenby.
I don't get it. I don't get the Lazenby hate.
And On Her Majesty's Secret Service is one of those films that has quite literally been able to withstand like the test of time. and has been considered like was just unfairly like criticized.
Yeah.
And it's just because I don't think
I think people
knew
just
Life
missed
Without
Sean
James Bond,
Connery,
but
right.
he's Sean Connery, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically James Bond does the Winter Olympics and does every chick on the mountain while he does it. All right, they will face off against, I just drew this one, Diamonds Are Forever. So on Your Majesty's Secret Service and You Only Live Twice are competing for the chance to enter the tournament against Diamonds Are Forever. All right, our next matchup, The Spy Who Loved Me, which of course gets credit for Austin Powers parodying the title of the original.
So the very last Roger Moore film,
Mm-hmm.
or on this one at least.
On this, bracket, will face off against, dropped it, Thunderball.
Ooh.
Probably so far of all the ones I've seen, the highest stakes of a James Bond movie.
Clear favorite in my head, though Thunderball is... It's so funny. You will hear people say Thunderball is the best Bond ever, and then you'll have people feel the opposite.
Like it's the worst?
Yeah, it's like it just does not
even
hold
more
up.
than like some of the Brosnans.
It's more so that Thunderball goes on too long, repeats scenes, things
does.
like that. Yeah,
it does have some great set pieces, though. All right, our next matchup will be Goldfinger facing off against For Your Eyes Only. Goldfinger, one of the most bumbling villains. Although sometimes he's like an evil genius. Like he's like all over the place.
Yes, considered one of the greatest Bond films. It's a very funny movie to rewatch because I think it's hard for us to rewatch in the 1963 mindset, because I think I agree it's a bumbling villain, but then people rate this as maybe one of the top Bonds of all time too. So it's very interesting for us.
I do like in Goldfinger, it's the first time that we really see like the villain kill his henchman, like very excessively, which is fun. All right, next up we have two one-word Bond movies. We have Octopussy facing off against Moonraker. Octopussy, the most recent Bond film in this bracket, so that'll be an interesting one.
This is interesting too because they're two, I would say, almost polarizing films for the Bond fandom. Like Moonraker, Bond going to space. Octopussy with the most ridiculous name of all time. like
come on, dude.
This is peak. These both are peak Roger Moore,
embodying what fans don't like about him.
Yeah.
All right, hang on. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so we have one more matchup here in the tournament, and it will be The Man with the Golden Gun. The Man with the Golden Gun.
I already know what's the next one. It's an unfair matchup here, guys. I'm going to call it.
Assuming I correctly wrote all the names in here, it will be From Russia with Love.
This is probably, I'm not going to, maybe I'll be wrong, but this is my opinion, is going to be the only blowout.
For who?
From Russia with Love.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say that's probably my favorite one that I've seen so far. An actual good like romance for James Bond.
Wait, where was Dr. No? Wait, who was Dr. No?
Dr. No is up against Live and Let Die.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a very good one too. All right. Yeah, I feel like that's could be wrong, but like I feel like this is the only clear winner. But we'll see.
This will be very interesting. So the way it works out, we basically have a bracket of 12 where the top one is competing to get in. So I think the way it'll be is those bottom two matchups will have one less matchup to get out of this, but it doesn't really matter because who fucking cares? We will post this in the link of the description of this podcast episode, and I'm assuming we can just begin this the next time that we meet, Cycling, for episode 261. Not sure the method of how we'll determine the winners, but I know we had talked earlier about us watching these movies and rating them on a scale of 00 to 7.
Which I love.
Which would be
no one's ever thought about something like that.
No, it's totally genius and unique, and I don't even know where those numbers came from, but they just
we made it up. And that's what we do here at the Bro Force Squad. We just come up with amazing things on our own.
I have been like after I watch each movie, ranking it on that scale, and then also keeping a tally of how many women James Bond has slept with in the film. And I was talking to Nate Thurmond off pod earlier, and there's a couple movies where it is a little bit ambiguous if he hooks up with a woman.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming if it's ambiguous, it happened.
I also think that was just a product of the time. As we get into the latter James Bonds, it's a lot more clear. Like when Denise Richards is like Bond girl, I was like, they're not hiding that shit.
Right. Another interesting thing would be on average, because you can't do total because Connery's going to win, but on average per movie, which Bond sleeps with the least women
Oh, that's a good
to the
question.
most? I would
I
guess
always,
Brosnan, maybe Craig actually, because he's in a pretty serious relationship for a little while.
my opinion has always been the average Bond has at least three partners. One random chick at beginning,
Mm-hmm.
two bad girl in the middle of the movie.
Who he just has to do it for the
Yeah.
mission.
And then third at the very end with the good Bond girl.
Right. And then
That's a good formula.
in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, he just has to bang every chick at the allergy clinic on the mountain.
Yeah, it actually clears up their sinuses.
You're welcome. Cheaper than Claritin. Your
Actually,
dick is cheaper than Claritin. Probably.
I can actually see Sean Connery selling that if he was the one that one.
My dick cheaper than Claritin. Can't get my dick over the counter.
See, I'd watch that. There's an SNL skit. I don't know if you've ever watched where like basically James Bond goes to the doctor and he gets like every STD ever, and they're like,
he's got to be like shocked, right?
Yes.
Give me
It's
the
like,
good
I did
news.
not expect this.
Give me the good news, doc. I don't have good news. You need so much antibiotics. It's insane. Your dick hasn't fallen off yet. All right, James Bond movie madness part. We'll just call the second one part 2 because it's like a world war, right? Like if you called World War One at the time, people would be like, "Wait, what?
Yeah, wait, what does that mean?
Why one? I don't understand." Oh, we're gonna do this again in like 40 years. Don't worry. So, all right, we move on to the second part of our show, our protein shake, where we go around and talk about what is in our cup, also known as what have we watched lately. Cycly, before I let you go, I just want to plug a movie commentary that we did that you were actually on, and that is the Disney Channel original movie, The Luck of the Irish, which, as we're recording this right now, it is St. Patrick's Day, and we did it in honor of St. Patrick's Day. But also, what anniversary was it of the movie? I know you saw this online.
It was the 25th year, I believe.
Okay. So check that out. It's on our YouTube channel. It's on our audio podcast feed. Watch the movie along with us. It's, of course, on Disney+. Cycly, what do you want to tease about this? Because I will say this. We are huge DCOM heads. This movie is not one of our favorites, but it is pretty ridiculous even for the standard that you go into a Disney Channel original movie expecting to see.
Yeah, this one has much less basketball than I remembered as a kid. They really, I don't think they knew where they wanted to go with this one at the end, like and how to end it and bring everything together. It might be one of the weirdest DComs I've ever watched, which says a lot, but
Yeah.
still entertaining. But yeah, it was out there, and again, that says a lot. But
Yeah, and again, you go into a DCOM with a certain level of like expecting utter ridiculousness, and even this seemed to outdo itself. All right, Cycly, what's in your cup? What have you seen lately?
Oh man, I got a lot here. So, I'll try to be not to go over too much, but let me start with one that I know you haven't seen, so that way I'll withhold too much information. But it's Scream 7, that just recently came out to the theaters. As many of you who listen to the pods, and for those who don't know, that you and I are the biggest horror heads on the pod.
Mm-hmm.
And Scream, you and I have said consistently, is pound for pound the greatest franchise in horror.
Yes.
When you think about like actually breaking down the quality of each movie. We're not saying every movie is the greatest movie. There's better movies in other genres or other, in other horror films. But like when you actually break down all the sequels, they have been really consistent.
Yeah, I mean, even the worst Scream movie is like
fun to watch.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. And I gave a little opinion on our 2026 preview show here about 2 months ago or 3 months ago. And I said for the first time, we're going to have a bad Scream movie. And the reason I said that was due to the fact that they had to abandon script with their firing of Jenna Ortega and Michelle Barrera, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. And they rewrote the script really quickly, brought Nev Campbell back because she was in Scream 6, and that was the only way they could save face, I think.
Well, yeah, she had a falling out with him after
Yes.
Scream 5 over contract negotiations. So
Exactly.
I'm assuming, considering they went back to her hat in hand, they had to really pony up some cash.
And I think they just knew they were screwed with, like, I'm not going to bring politics in it. It's bullshit what they did with Jenna Ortega and Michelle Barrera. Like,
yeah.
that
Well,
should
didn't
have
they do
never
it to
happened.
Barrera, and then in the sign of solidarity, Ortega just withdrew?
Yes, Ortega. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I stand with them. I was on their side, but like I said, we're not here to break that down. My whole thing is Scream found itself in a very difficult position, more so because of their own actions. But I made a prediction 3 months ago. The script was going to be rushed, and they just had to get Nev Campbell back to have something to sell. So all that said, again, I don't want to give any spoilers outside of like how I felt about it, but like I feel pretty confident I was accurate. Like, it wasn't horrible. Like, it was still entertaining. It was still a Scream movie. Had an amazing opening. I wish they had kind of carried on the theme of the opening more, and really kind of lost the plot. The ending is by far the weakest, in my opinion. I'm not going to say anything about like why I think that, but it was just kind of like you could tell they rushed things. You could tell they were desperate. Plots, motivations, things like that just didn't feel fully matured. So, it was still entertaining, and I will give that to Scream. Like, we were due for a bad Scream movie, and this still isn't even bad. It might be my least favorite Scream movie, but I still was entertained by the end of the day. So take that for what you will. I didn't hate it. It's an easy, short watch. You're just going to sit there and go like, yeah, that wasn't the best Scream, and you know what? That's okay.
I mean, the wife and I are going to see this the second it drops on digital. I'm intrigued. The trailer, like I told you, showed way too much, and you have an ability to not watch these trailers. I have gotten better at it, but I watched this one.
I think you're going to love the opening.
The opening in the trailer was you can already tell what the opening is because it's like a dispensable character who's like you kind of see in some other stuff. Always. It's the guy from American Vandal.
Yep, exactly.
Right? Yeah, and they go back to who drew the dicks. They go back to the OG house.
Well, they did that in 5. You know what I mean? So, like, and part of me is also like,
right.
Okay, we had that tie-in. So again, I'm not going to get too much into it until you watch it, but again, take it for what it is. It was still fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to go see it. Okay, I watched a Netflix show called His and Hers. Have you heard of this with John Bernthal and Tessa Thompson?
I have not.
All right. So Nate, I really enjoyed this. The wife and I really enjoyed it. It's like a trashy Mayor of Easttown, I guess. It's like an investigation into a murder and just so much like twists and turns. And in the end, it really goes for it. It throws a fucking Hail Mary up. And Nate Thurmond and his wife just thought it was stupid and did not like the ending to all of it. And my wife and I ate it up in like every one of the trashy, like that's incredible ways. So I don't know if it's for everybody, but I will say John Bernthal and Tessa Thompson have really interesting chemistry in this. They play a husband and wife who are like separated, and he is the lead detective on this murder case, and she is a reporter who is like she recently left due to they had like a traumatic divorce, something happened.
Yeah.
And she's coming back to work, and she has lost her like 6 o'clock anchor job. So now she is an investigative reporter, and she's kind of using this case as her like chance to get back in the anchor seat. So sort of an interesting dynamic the whole time of them like being frenemies. Like they're still not technically divorced and they do care about each other, but like she's clearly like trying to take advantage of their relationship for her reporting, and he's clearly trying to like keep her at arm's length. But it's one of those things where like, have you ever seen the movie Wild Things with Denise Richards and Neve Campbell, where at the end it has like 4 extra twists that like it doesn't really need? That's what this does. So I had a lot of fun with it, but again, some people might watch it like Nate Thurmond and be like, fuck off.
Is it one of those shows that like, even if you don't like it at the end of the day, you're like, hey, it was something to watch and it was easy to swallow, and like, yeah, maybe I didn't like it, but like it was entertaining, and I just, like, I mean, sometimes I don't mind that. I don't need everything to be amazing to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think you will feel that way, but some people, and I totally understand it from Nate Thurman's perspective, got kind of annoyed at the ending because there are some, I don't want to say glaring plot holes, but there's some things that happen that you're like, there's just no way that, like the whole time that was what you were setting me up for, like that just doesn't make sense, or it's not like plausible. But I had fun with it.
Yeah.
And it was even more fun to like try and sort of sarcastically defend the plot holes to him, just to watch him get really angry. Like, no, it's possible because of this. And he's like, fuck off. So I had an additional element of fun with it. His and Hers. I did give it a Broscardon for best show, but it's early in the year, so I will not imagine it will make the top 5 by the end, but it's up there for now.
It's like going first in figure skating at the Olympics. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
you're
cool,
in the
you're
lead.
First possession.
Yeah.
You know, like that's great. But let's see how you're doing 10 skaters later.
It would actually be impressive if you went first and weren't in first place right afterwards.
Yeah, that's really embarrassing.
Like, how'd you pull that off? It's pretty good. All right, Psycho, what else you got?
I'm gonna I wasn't gonna start here, but because of what you just said, I'm gonna go to a different show I just watched, which is Rooster on HBO. Have you watched
this show, right?
Yes.
Is it all out?
No, but 2 episodes are out.
Yeah, I was kind of intrigued by the plot. I will say Steve Carell has definitely lost his fastball. I feel like I know that. What was that show where they're like the friends on vacation?
Oh, it's 4 seasons.
Yeah, I know that was decent. You and my wife both said it was fine, but I do feel like his like days of being like the darling of TV and film are definitely like.
Oh, for sure. He's still a silver fox. He can get it. That's for sure. So I'm going to say the same thing that kind of you said on this. Now, we're 2 episodes in, so I'm not going to give too much away. Also, I'm going to first start off with it. This is another Bill Lawrence show, and I think Bill Lawrence right now might be the hottest.
Where does he find the time? I know he just kind of creates and then steps back.
Between Ted Lasso, which is 4th season coming out, Rooster now is coming out, Shrinking, and hold on, there's one, or the new Scrubs is out. I'm going to talk about that later. So like one, I'm gonna always watch what Bill Lawrence does because he plays serious and comedy better than anyone I've ever seen. Like you can be crying and then laughing so quickly. So, I appreciate it. I'm not gonna, again, I don't want to spoil anything, but very much what you just said is how I feel about Rooster right now. It's 2 episodes in, great cast. Steve Carell is fantastic. Phil Dunster, our boy from Ted Lasso, is in this, and John C. McGinley, who I love from Scrubs, is in this.
Yeah, him and Bill Lawrence. I'm surprised he hasn't popped up in Shrinking, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised too. So great cast, really fun. Phil
Dunster was just in another show I watched called Surface, where he played a like really, really evil dude. It was really he's fun.
Oh, he was evil? I would like to actually kind of watch
that. I think you would like it too, yeah.
I love him. Obviously, Jamie Tart and Ted Lasso. How can you not love him? Here's what I'm going to say about Rooster. We don't have to talk much about it, but it's one of those shows that's like, okay, there's too much going on. Like, it's great that you're developing these casts and characters, but like you just alluded to with His and Hers, it's like, this is not realistic, guys. Like this, if you actually break down the plot, this would evolve into serious legal ramifications.
Right.
It does not work. Like you can't have characters doing certain things that they do. I'm not trying to say like I'm not one of those people. I've never been one of those people that can't just enjoy a show for what it is. I do enjoy a show for what it is. I'm not asking for non-realistic things or whatever. I'm merely stating like there's too much happening. Like I can't wait for you to watch this because I know you're going to agree with me immediately.
How long are the episodes?
30 minutes, so it's not hard.
Okay, nice.
There is too much serious shit happening constantly in these 2 episodes where I'm like, this is not how real life works, guys. You're taking me out of it. So like, I'm enjoying it, kind of like you said about the last show, like His and Hers, but like I'm like, I don't know if you can continue this. Like we're 2 episodes in. Like
it's like
at some
a soap
point,
opera where they have like 13 different narratives going on.
Yes, and you'll see it the second you watch it. It's like this isn't how the real world works. So won't say more about that, but it has been entertaining to watch Rooster on HBO.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. Do you know how many episodes the first season is?
I do not.
It might be one of those we just wait till the whole thing comes out and just binge it.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be at least 8, but I could be completely wrong.
Yeah. Okay, I want to just give a shout out to a comedy that came out last year, kind of towards the end of the year that I recently watched. And I think last year, we talked about this at the Broskers a little bit, by the way. Check out episode 259, our annual movie award show, the Broskers. But I think last year was like a nice comeback year for comedy. And I don't know what's on the docket for this year specifically, but there was some really, really strong. Like, I loved the Naked Gun movie. And this movie was one that kind of surprised me and had me cracking up the whole time. And that is the Anaconda. It's not a remake, sequel. I don't know. Faithful parody, I guess. Anaconda,
Yeah.
starring Paul Rudd and Jack Black. The premise of it, if you don't know, is that it's two friends. One is a struggling actor, Paul Rudd, and the other is a director who had aspirations to be in film and TV in Jack Black, but now he just focuses on making couples' wedding videos in the movie, which is kind of inherently hilarious. And Paul Rudd tells Jack Black that he has acquired the rights to the film Anaconda, and that if they go to the Amazon, they can remake it. And they're huge fans of it growing up. It like informed a lot of Jack Black's characters, like cinephile background and his like want to be in film. And Thandie Newton's also in it. Steve Zahn, who's like obviously great in everything that he pops up in. And then a couple cameos from the original Anaconda, which I went back and rewatched before I saw this. And I just
That's
was
really great. I didn't expect that.
yeah, and they did it really, really well too. To where they are gratuitous, but like in the best ways. And I just had a blast with this, man. If you go into this movie like knowing it's going to be like a stupid comedy, but also the laughs will be legitimate, like there's not like a guy who farts and you're supposed to like it's not Terrence and Phillip, put it that way. I just had a lot of fun, and I think comedy like it's hard to do now for a bunch of different reasons, but this one, I think Rudd and Black are always pretty safe bets, especially Paul Rudd. But these guys just worked really well together. I had a lot of fun with it, and the premise to me was like, you and I love like kind of meta comedy as is. That's why the Naked Gun I think appeals to us so much, and the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie. I don't know if this was Akiva Schaffer, but it definitely felt like him. Probably not because he had a lot going on this year, but I would highly recommend Anaconda, especially if you're someone who's like kind of given up or like not had a lot of faith in comedies that have come out recently. This one, it's not like the funniest movie you've ever seen or even like in the top 10 of the last decade, but it will kind of restore your faith in the genre, I think, if you go watch
Which
it.
I was so excited. First of all, I was not excited when I heard they were doing this. And then when I actually read the plot, like you were talking about, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to watch it, but like hearing you say that, like I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I think you'll have fun with it. It is very self-aware, but not to the point where it's like crippled by just making meta jokes. Like it understands the assignment here, and like a few little twists and turns that make it like it has enough of a story too, where it's not just like, all right, let's put people in ridiculous situations and have Jack Black dance all crazy. Like they actually do stuff with the characters, which is cool. So, Anaconda, 2025. Check it out. What else you got, Cycling?
I'll say two things really quickly because they are both ongoing and they're related to what I just recently spoke about with Rooster, but it is Shrinking and the newest Scrubs. And have you watched either of these?
Shrinking, we're about 2 or 3 episodes behind, and Scrubs
Okay.
I've not gotten into. Is Scrubs? Are they just when did it end? The season 8? So they're just calling this season 9, or is this like
Well,
a total?
technically there was season 9, but no one talks about season.
Oh, the Dave Franco.
Yeah, exactly.
Season.
Yeah. So I won't say much about Shrinking since you're a little behind. I think
I'm
Shrinking is
loving
exactly.
Shrinking though. By the way.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna say. Shrinking is what Shrinking has always been. Like it's one of those shows if you want to actually break it down into like true psychology, it's like, hey, that's probably not how that profession truly works. But
There's no way.
you're not
Yeah.
here for that. So like, again, it's just like I talked about Bill Lawrence with earlier. It's a great show. We love watching it. We look forward to it every Wednesday. It's just great cast of characters, plays that emotion comedy drama so well. So yeah, that's all I'll say about Shrinking. What I'll say about Scrubs, and I will preface this by saying that like Scrubs, the original sitcom, is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time.
An
And
incredible ending too, which almost made me like
yes,
kind of not want them to bring this back.
yeah. So again, I've said it 1,000 times already about Bill Lawrence, but like Scrubs did it better than anybody. The ability to just shift. You are like laughing your ass off and then immediately crying on just horrific, true scenes. And I have family members. I have a cousin who's an ER doctor who listens to this pod who has said time and time again, Scrubs
Oh
was
yeah,
the most accurate medical drama, like whatever
which is so
show.
interesting to me. But I guess it makes sense. Like there has
It,
to be a level of levity in that profession,
yes,
otherwise you would just break down every
yes,
single day.
there's a humanity to it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not constant, like, oh
Oh, the
my
whole Brendan
gosh, this
Fraser
character
arc is
has.
incredible.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that will break anyone down. Like all these other shows, like Grey's Anatomy or whatever, it's like, oh my god, they have a bomb in their chest. It's like, okay, that's not your normal
Yeah.
everyday. Like,
Yeah,
it's
when you go
like,
to the pediatrician, there's not the bomb squad.
yeah, it's and they found a way to make every single day working at the hospital a true life experience. And I know for a fact they had doctors like as co-writers. They were based on real, real characters in life. But anyway, so I digress. My point is, I was nervous about this revamp. I don't know how what we want to call the new Scrubs. Guys, we're 4 episodes in. It is incredible.
Really?
They are doing so well. It is like what I appreciate it is they're not sitting there trying to rehash old jokes just over and over. They're not just trying to like take money and just do the same thing. It's like you were genuinely watching characters 25 years or 20 years after where like where they were.
Is basically everyone back?
Yes, so John C. McGinley and a couple of characters had, scheduling issues. So like everyone's had made appearances essentially, but
Okay.
like, and still more to come. But my point is like, it feels genuinely like they have refound what made Scrubs amazing from the get-go. And I was very hesitant to think they were going to be able to do this, but maybe enough time away and maybe an understanding of like, hey, things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's genuinely watching someone who you knew when they're 30s and now you're seeing them in their 50s and they're a little different, but the heart is there and the person is there. And my wife and I are both just like in love with it right now. We are so happy. It's so nice to see them on the screen again. Like each episode, we just keep looking at each other saying, they are nailing
Yeah, like
this.
I'm shocked, but it's awesome. Yeah.
Yes, it is just blowing us out of the park. So if you love Scrub and you're hesitant, please watch it. It's so good, guys.
That is a huge relief. Maybe I'll have to give it a shot then. Do we know what the order, like, did they get just one season? Like, or
I think I read it was a like this is not a permanent thing, like that, which might be a good thing. Like this might be like
yeah.
a mini series.
Yeah, we don't need to do like another 4 or 5 seasons of this.
We'll see though. I mean, any other show, it gets enough success,
Yeah.
money talks. So we'll see.
Very true. All right, Cycling, I want to talk about something briefly that you basically made me watch, and that is The Wrong Paris on Netflix. Do you want to briefly explain what the fuck this is?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay. So, Miranda Cosgrove, bless her heart, she should not be acting.
Wow. First of all, that's how you're going to start?
That is how I'm going to start. I'm sure she has a lot of talents. Unfortunately, acting is not one of them. And it's even worse when they try and make, to me, she'll always be like that 13-year-old kid on Disney who, even though I didn't watch her, that's what she is. Now they're trying to make her like, maybe a sex symbol is too far, but they're definitely sexualizing her in this. It makes me very uncomfortable, I have to say. Even though I know she's grown up and probably like in her mid to late 20s. But cycling.
She's only like 5 years younger than us.
Is she really? She's like 35?
Yeah, she's 32.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought her Disney show was when we were like in college.
It might have been. I'm just saying, like, she's probably been like young, made to look younger.
Still makes me very uncomfortable. Yeah, you're right. She's 32. Why don't you tell people the plot to The Wrong Paris?
I really feel like, I kind of like where you're going with this. You really, I think you should do it, but if you really want me to,
fine, I'll do it.
No, it's fine. I just want you to I want to live through your.
So basically, women in the show sign up to go on a reality show to meet this hunk. It's basically like a bachelor format in the city of Paris. And when they get off the private jet,
Well, hey, as a lawyer, they didn't specify what Paris is. All I'm going to say.
I haven't accused anyone of anything. Okay, when
No
they
one
get
did
off,
anything wrong. Is all I'm
correct.
saying.
When they, and I'm sure it was like not even in the fine print. It was probably written right there. When they get off the plane, these women contestants, many of whom are, of course, caricatures of real humans. A lot of which are like people that go on these shows to grow their social media following. The women realize very quickly that although they are in Paris, it is Paris, Texas, and hilarity ensues. And Miranda Cosgrove's character is probably the one, maybe there's like two other people of like the 20 contestants who is on the show with very noble intentions.
Yeah,
She
she
is
wasn't there to do that.
right. She's just there to make money to go to, is it art school?
I think so. Yeah.
They're always artists. Why do they? It's like every single one of these people are painters. And in real life, I don't think I've ever met an artist. Now, maybe that's my problem. I don't hang out with
You
the
should branch
creative.
out.
Yeah, but like every single one of these chicks is an artist. And Cycly, she just wanted to get on the show and get off and make some money. But what happened while she was on this show?
She swore she wouldn't, but yet he was charming, and somehow they found a connection. And I just,
Damn
but
it.
she tried so hard not to like him,
I
and he
know.
tried not to like her either. Let's be honest.
Well, as long as they both have some sort of shared family trauma, I think they'll be able to get out of this without any real connection forming. Oh, wait.
No.
So the wrong Paris. It is everything Netflix trash is made out to be. And I don't want to say I liked it, but
Yes,
I
you
had
do.
fun
You
with
want to
it.
say you liked it.
Yeah, I had fun with it.
This
I
is
don't.
one of those movies that, like, my wife was watching, and I just walked in the room. And I was like, "What are you watching?" And then I'm like, "I'm not gonna look away."
Is this where she watched it and she's like, if Cycly walks in, he'll be like, like, uh, what are those like honey traps that like those bugs get stuck in?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to watch this, and then every 5 seconds, like, I go in the other room. I go, "What's happening?"
There's like
She's
this.
like,
There's a meme I saw. It's like faces of dad who doesn't like the movie you just started playing, and the
"Yep."
first one he's like in the kitchen, back to it. The next one he's like up behind the couch, standing with his arms folded. The next one he's like sitting on the couch in the corner, and then he's like up in like the middle of the couch asking questions.
That was me this whole movie.
Yeah, I think this would be a fun one to do a commentary on, but we're gonna need like at least one more person.
I can't believe you remember this. I'm pretty sure I recommended this like 4 months ago.
We saw it like 2 months ago, but every time I write squad blogs, I put in like stuff that I don't want to talk about on the show or don't think like it really has a connection to anybody. And this was one I was like, when Cycly's on pod, we're gonna have to talk the wrong Paris, at least briefly.
Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna say I did like the ending. There was a little twist, just a tiny little twist.
Maybe we'll have to talk off pod. I'm not sure I 100% know what you're talking about.
Oh, about how she got the winnings.
Oh yeah, that was one you as a lawyer had to be like, that's just pretty well done.
Well, like, who wrote the quote? Who wrote the contract?
Right. So, honey, this is the part. Now I can't enjoy it. Now that this happened,
It's bullshit.
Yeah. Let me just say one more thing, and then I'll toss it back to you. So 2026 is off to a pretty slow start, I would say, in terms of movies. Like nothing huge has come out yet, or nothing that we've heard. Normally this time of year, there's at least like one movie I feel like that came out like in February, where people are like, dude, huge surprise, got to go see this. But I will say this. One of the, if not the first horror movie to come out this year, because it was early January, Primate, about this like killer chimpanzee I saw and really liked it. I won't say too much, but some really, really awesome practical effects in it and kills, and just kind of what you look for in like I guess like in terms of conceit, it kind of is a slasher. There's no like stabbing happening in it. Like the monkey doesn't walk around with a machete or anything. That'd be fucking cool though. Kind of talking myself into a new movie idea, but it's like done in a way where every time that you like think you have it kind of figured out, you're like, oh, that's kind of an interesting take on this. And the thing that I love in these movies is really like cardboard cutout disposable characters who get killed, and there's at least 4 of them in this, where it's like they were written by like a 3rd grader who's like douchebag earring guy. Perfect.
I will say you're not the only one saying like great thing. I haven't seen this, but like
Yeah.
you are not the only one saying great things about this.
I think you would really like it too. So check out Primate if you haven't. All right,
All
what else
right,
you got
I
cycling?
have a couple things left. I've watched a lot in these last. I'm trying to rush things. Okay. So my wife and I are currently doing some new like flooring and cabinets in our kitchen. So we are very first world problems, not complaining, but we're kind of stuck to our basement right now. And we have very limited room. So we're just like putting on random shit. And we were on Hulu and I was like, hey, Robin, there was like this documentary about like these teenage girls. And I was like, ha, I made a joke. Robin Sparkles, my wife. Hey, these girls kind of look like you and your friends. I don't know what this documentary is. Let's put it on. It's called Friends Like These. Have you guys watched this yet?
Oh, this just popped up on Hulu. I saw the
Yeah.
trailer, and man,
Yeah.
it looked pretty fucked up from what I could see.
It's 3 episodes, each like 50 minutes long. I won't, again, it recently came out in the last like 3 weeks, so I won't
When is this
say
story?
much.
Like mid 2000s?
It's definitely like maybe late 2009, 10. I can't remember
The reason I'm asking is I
exactly.
know social media is like a big part of it. I'm just wondering like
Yes.
where the technology was.
Yes. It was early enough where like parents didn't understand how teenagers were using it.
But also it wasn't like super pervasive. Like
Yeah,
people weren't on it like 24 hours a day.
exactly. Um, I don't want to spoil it because has recently come out. Um, Man, I'm gonna say this. A couple of us on the pod have recently had children. I don't know if I've announced this on the pod, but my wife is currently pregnant. I was like, oh man, I do not look forward to the days my child is a teenager,
God, I know, right?
and I'm so scared of their friends. It is This story is sad. It's fucked up. It's it's just something unimaginable you would expect upon like just normal people. Um, so again, it's 3 episodes, all of them slightly less than 3 hours, but it's just kind of like just makes you really sad. Like
Yeah.
things that teenagers do because teenagers are dumb, and I was a dumb teenager. You don't think about things. It's like, but for one or two things, like this could have been us or something like that. Like not
Hmm.
necessarily me or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm so glad we were teenagers like a half generation before this.
yeah, exactly. And it breaks your heart. And then it infuriates you at all the same time. Only watch this if like true crime is like you just enjoy it, but it's pretty heavy.
So you
So yeah,
finished it?
yeah, yeah,
Would you say Brosker nom for best doc?
probably so far. I mean, it's early on, but like it's one of those documentaries that this is what I want in a documentary. I want it to kind of like sit with me,
Yeah, you want to the
and
best ones you leave and you either look stuff up online or it just kind of stays with you for a few
yeah.
days.
You can honestly you can spoil this one. Like it's not Dear Zachary, which is in my opinion one of the greatest fucked up documentaries of
One of
all
the
time. Where
saddest
like
docs I've ever seen. I watched that at your
yes,
recommendation.
where you have to kind of watch it to really get hit in the face. If you go watch go read the Wikipedia page about this crime, and then you watch the documentary, I don't think you're gonna be like, it's not like, oh, I wish I had gone in blind. Like this is just a true sad story. Doesn't matter if you know it or not. So it was kind of like the Gabby Petito last year. It's like everyone knew how that ended. Didn't change how he felt about it. So watch Friends Like These. Yeah, and then I have two others I can mention. I don't know how many you have left.
I have two real quick, so you can.
Yeah.
We're not doing our Do You Have the Lift, bro? So if you want to go for it,
Ruh, ruh.
no. Put the cage the bird.
Oh shit. Banner just showed up out of nowhere.
Let me just real quickly say one. I went to movie theaters actually yesterday for the
Multiple
30.
theaters.
Yeah, multiple. I'm so fat I could sit in two theaters at once. No, I saw it was the 35th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze being released. And Fathom Events had a re-release of it. So I went and saw it in theaters, which was really fucking cool. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I do think this is up there with probably a Goofy movie and some others as far as movies that I've seen the most times in my life. I've probably seen this almost 50 times.
Is this one of the greatest sequels on your side?
Absolutely. And I think as a kid, this was like the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was like really heavy. And so as a kid, you're kind of like, oh, that's not really like what I thought the turtles were. And then this one, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that's my shit right there. Um, and this is one where the Henson Company really had a lot more creative control of it. Jim Henson was pretty vocal, even though he supplied the puppets for the first one. He did not like how violent and dark it was, and so he had a lot of stipulations with doing it again for the sequel. And they New Line acquiesced to all of them, which in hindsight was probably a good choice because the end product is absolutely incredible. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. We have a commentary on our channel of this one we did way back when. So fucking fun. This is one of the most fun times you'll ever have at the movies. And they get to see it again. Like, I don't think I ever saw it in theaters as a kid. I think I just had it on VHS and weared it the hell out. So this was cool for me. Probably a first time watch in theaters, although I'm not 100% sure. And I mean, I wish it would just stay in theaters forever. I'd go see it every weekend. So much fun. All right, what else you got?
First of all, I wish I had gone and seen it. I wish we had more movies like that. I wish they made more kids movies like that. It makes me.
Yeah, I had to go in the middle of the day because of my schedule. But man, I would love nothing more than go see this at like 7 o'clock on a Friday with like a bunch of fucking turtle heads there, just going crazy. And then when Vanilla Ice comes on, we all sing the turtle rap.
I know it makes us sound old. It's just like, why can't they make movies like that anymore? Like, why not just have like movies that are just, I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Okay, my last two are not related at all. So I don't know if any banners talked about it recently, but A Night of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO.
I
Game
didn't know
of
you were watching
Thrones.
this.
Yeah, oh yeah, I just finished it actually.
Okay.
But I actually read this book, and all I'm going to say about it is I think I've given my opinion on how Game of Thrones ended. I'm not the biggest House of the Dragon fan. I think there is a big disconnect with how HBO has done things, and not to their fault. I honestly don't blame them. Without source material, when they've had free reign, it's been good. I'm not going to act like it's been terrible, but like it just hasn't been what it was, especially the first like 5 or 6 seasons of Game of Thrones. So I read the short stories, their novellas, like A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, a long time ago. My cousin, again, same ER doctor who listens to this pod, is the one who gave me this book a long time ago. And I think critically, I'm not the only one to tell you this, but like you can look this up critically. Like this has been so acclaimed and so beloved right now. Not just the cast, the characters, the writing, everything. And it just shows you that Game of Thrones still has a lot to offer when they follow source material. And I'm not trying to talk shit about the shows that haven't done with source material. Again, I get it. They're world building on their own, don't have the help. Like it's just tough. But I kind of blame George R. R. Martin for not working as hard as he should, who's just kind of being lazy and not finishing his product.
His legacy is going to be a weird one. I honestly think.
It is, and he's literally saying if he dies, he doesn't want people to finish it either. So it's like,
well, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe he's still alive. But like, I'm just gonna say, like, this is what made this Night of the Seven Kingdoms isn't the most like action driven. There's a lot of action clearly, but like it goes back into what made Game of Thrones great originally is characters.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these people? The writing, all of that. And it was so refreshing to watch. My wife loved it. Like I think again, everyone's talking about it online. Like it was refreshing to have. Obviously I know there was going to be a season 2 reading it, but like it's just nice to have that moment where like this is how good it used to be for Game of Thrones. So and then do you have any comments on that? I know you haven't watched it, but like
well, I gotta say, talking about cast, Daniel Ings, who plays Sir Lionel Baratheon, do you know what this guy from Lovesick?
I know.
I mean,
our boy.
He popped up in the Marvels as well, and I was like, dude, get him in more stuff.
Dude, we've had a couple between him and I'm trying to remember the other Johnny Flynn, who is also in Lovesick.
Yeah, he's actually
been in some good things. Like
yeah,
it's nice
100%.
to see them. Yeah, first of all, if you want a good sitcom that does not get the credit it deserves, is Lovesick. Strudel Recall was the original name.
Yeah.
But And then what I will say is I am like Zootopia, the original, is such a great film to me. It's my like it might be my second happy place film outside
Oh,
of
really?
Aladdin. And I love the first one. I think it has such great meaning, such great characters, great songs, everything.
Premise in general is just fucking hilarious.
Yes, it is. So my wife and I watched Zootopia 2 this last weekend. And Ban and I had talked about this actually, like, I don't know if you've watched it, but like it was never gonna be the original in my sense. Like I didn't expect that. I was actually still pretty entertained and pretty happy about it. Like there was still emotional parts to it that like kind of hit me as the first Zootopia did. And while it didn't have the depth, I would say, of the first one, it still held up really well. And like it just came out on Disney Plus for free. I've been waiting for it because I didn't want to pay $25 to rent it.
Right.
So yeah, Zootopia 2, really happy with it. Um, like I said, it still had that like just I don't know, it's nice to watch a kids movie that has emotional feeling and depth. Like, that like actually means something that you walk out with.
Yeah. I like the trailer for it. The whole like going to the bayou and stuff seemed interesting, like a cool way to take the characters and put them in kind of a new
Yeah.
environment within that world.
But you haven't watched it yet.
I have not, no.
Okay.
Although my Roku TV is like shoving it down my throat. It's like, did you know Zootopia 2? It's out Zootopia 2, and we should check out the sequel to Zootopia. All right, dude, relax. Give me a foot.
Well, then maybe you should watch it.
Probably. I probably will. I do kind of want to go back and rewatch the first one first. And then I think there was like a Disney Plus series of shorts, which I don't know if that, I mean, it's not like you're going to be confused by the plot, but I don't know if that adds anything to this or if it like introduces characters that show up in this that it would be fun to see in that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I think you can go in pretty like you don't need too much background.
Okay. It's good to know. All right, you got anything else?
No, I gave a lot, so I apologize.
No, I love it. I'll just end with something that I actually watched like I think literally 3 hours before we came on, and that is The Housemaid from I think it was technically late last year when this came out.
Yeah. Did you know anything about this?
No, just that like my wife's book club read it and they all went to go see the movie together.
Okay.
And so I was assuming like, all right, I mean, there's a certain level of trash here that I both appreciate and expect from it. I will say this, Amanda Seyfried, really, really good performance here. Like she is asked to do a lot, playing a character who has like some. This is not a spoiler because I think it's kind of shown in the trailer, but like some level of like bipolarity or like definitely not like split personalities or anything like that. And that's not even me like trying to throw people off the scent. None of that happens in this, but she's clearly like kind of emotionally a little bit all over the place. And Amanda Seyfried plays it with like such a subtlety, but like she has this thing, which I'm sure you've seen her in other roles, where it's like behind her eyes, there is like a level of crazy that like if she needs to go to it, it's there, but you can tell it's just like a break glass in case of emergency situation. So I had a lot of fucking fun with this. The twists kind of keep on coming, almost to a fault, but I really did not predict where it was going, and so there's sort of like a twist on a twist that I really liked. And the guy who plays Amanda Seyfried's husband in it, Brendan Sklenar, there's a lot of rumors that he is going to be the Batman in James Gunn's DC universe. And he was in Drop, which was one of my more enjoyed movies of last year as well.
I'm more like shocked that maybe there's going to be another talk about Batman. So.
Yeah, we got to have 7 Batmans. You didn't know that?
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think Matt Reeves is going to let his Batman play in the universe with everybody else, which is probably for the best.
This is one of those movies I'm just going to tell you. I just went ahead and read the plot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I guess without spoiling it, what were your thoughts on where it goes?
I liked it.
It's really the second act that I think the twist hits you.
I need to watch it to actually take it in, but it sounded fresh to me after seeing the trailer. I just was like, it was one of those movies that was like, I don't know that I'll ever see this like on my own.
Mm-hmm. I do that
and
a
so
lot.
I was like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go read about it.
I text you guys. I think this one would be a good commentary too, because it's like a little bit trashy, but also like ridiculous enough, and also interesting enough to where there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I'd be down. It'd be fun for me to watch it now that I know what actually happens.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those movies too where like I kind of want to go back and revisit it because now that you like know where it goes, I think there's like some breadcrumbs that they drop that are definitely like you don't pick up on because you don't know what you're looking for.
Yep.
Earlier in the film. Also, talk about like an interesting director career. Paul Feig, who did like Bridesmaids, among other things. Melissa McCarthy's husband, he directed this.
Oh wow!
And
I
he has
didn't
had.
realize that was him.
Yeah, he's gone. He also did the movie A Simple Favor, which kind of feels like more this
Yes,
speed.
I knew that one. Yeah.
But then he's also done a bunch of like stuff with like he did that Ghostbusters movie with the all women one that people like hated.
Yeah, I never watched.
Right. So he's kind of like all over the place. But when he does movies like this, he has this kind of
You know,
surprisingly capable sensibility.
I'm not surprised that he did A Simple Favor. Now that I think about what the plot, I didn't put that together.
Yeah.
That makes like when I think about the twist. Okay.
Right. He almost alternates from like he'll do like two raunchy comedies and then he'll do like a sort of
Yeah,
movie
and
like this.
pretty sure you recommended A Simple Favor to us.
Yeah, it's in my top 100.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I haven't watched the sequel.
Nor have I, nor will I don't think.
Ooh, what of those?
Yeah. I mean, maybe I will at some point. Never say never again.
It's James Bond.
Which actually, no, it's not. I made that up just now. No one's ever said that phrase.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Actually, that might be a good way to close us out here for episode 260. Cycling, we set up a James Bond movie madness tournament, which will be posted. We talked about a shit ton of shit that we watched. What do you want to leave the people with for episode 260?
I'm gonna leave the people with, hey, we don't want to hear from you anymore. You won't shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, it's exactly what my ex-wife said in the restraining order. But just like her, we know you're joking.
Yeah, I wish. No, I just appreciate it. Thank you. I'm excited about this James Bond one. I'm really curious where this goes because I think there's going to be James Bond purists. I think there's going to be James Bond people enjoyers who are like more like, hey, we will watch Daniel Craig.
Mm-hmm.
They were more serious. There's the '90s James Bond. It's going to be interesting where this breaks down.
And I think us dividing it up chronologically, so like the first 13 face off against each other, and then the next 13 do. Like in the championship, it'll be the best of each. But it will be interesting because now it'll be like-minded or like basically opponents that are kind of like punching at the same weight against each other. You don't have like World Is Not Enough going up against a Connery movie or something like that.
We're gonna find out what people actually enjoy about James Bond films.
Yes, we are. People, please be vocal on these. Yell at us. I'll just end with, use the sidewalk. It's there for a reason. That's a new one, but I've noticed a lot of people lately, like walking and jogging in my neighborhood. Our sidewalks are perfectly fine. Are they the best ever? No, but they're not. They don't have like potholes in them, and they're running on the street.
And it's never understood that. Like, what is wrong with the sidewalk, guys?
It's very dangerous. Because trust me, these people driving are not paying attention, as you have pointed out many times. So, just keep yourself safe. All right, for our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek, and we are the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. You can find us on our website, broforcesquad.com. We have everything posted there, links to all of our stuff, and our squad blog. You can also just type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words. Pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and we are there. Till next time, just do the right thing. Do the right thing. There was a poster that said that in our English class in high school.
Was that in Nolan's class?
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
Do the right thing. Do the writing thing.
I kind of remember that.